Hey, what's decent, yo? I got a crazy battle against my boy KeroKeroStudio. I want to say Matsu because that's Froki's Japanese name, but I don't think I said the right thing. I'm just gonna have his name down there in the title. I'm just doing this based off of memory, but anyway, I'm just gonna leave that with Septile, switch right out into my cargo. I'm using these weird Pokemon here in an OU match, but that's really what Kashif really does. Like, you find something interesting, I'm just gonna go ahead and use it. So my cargo goes to the Will-O-Wisp, burns the Landorus, which is actually pretty great. I think an Earthquake would still kill because my cargo is quite weak against it, so I'm just gonna switch into Hippowdon, just figuring that he's gonna want to set up rocks, but instead he goes straight for the U-turn, which is detrimental because he has Latios, he has Keldeo, he has Rotom. So I'm like, okay, kind of in a bad situation here. I kind of do want to go back out into my Sceptile, but I'm just gonna go out into my Rotom. He goes for the Icy Wind, which is a great play, predicting my Sceptile to come back into play. He probably might be Choice Scarf, so in a case scenario that I do happen to Mega Evolve, hypothetically speaking, if I was to switch out my Sceptile, that would be a dead Mega Sceptile right there. So I'll just go for the Will-O-Wisp again, predicting him to switch into his Latias specifically, but that's not exactly the case as he brings back in his Landorus. So now he's just going to go for the knockoff. I predict him to go for the U-turn to try to fake me out instead of staying in here and maybe setting up like rocks or something like that in front of a Rotom's face. So he sets up rocks and he stays in for 2 turns, and I'm like, dude, what? Hello? Huh? So I just essentially let him knock off my item and set up the rocks and everything, like, for free. Holy crap. So now he switched out to Rotom, and now I'm gonna miss the Will-O-Wisp on another Rotom, which happens to be very, very, very crucial. So now he's gonna go for the Volt Switch. Now switched into Mega Sceptile just to probably try to take the bird, because Mega Sceptile is very important, and now he has the Metagross, which he's free to go for the Mega Evolution here. And I'm just gonna go ahead and sack my Magcargo to it because he goes for Meteor Mash, and that is going to knock me down to 10%, and Magcargo's too slow to get off a nice little recover, and he goes for a safe Earthquake as opposed to going for the Meteor Mash and risking him getting inflicted with the burn there. What I could have done was probably save Magcargo for a little bit later on, just for that specific threat, just to probably get another chance to inflict a burn on it with the Flame Body, provided that he does another contact move, like let's say Meteor Mash or Zen Headbutt or something else. But you know, I figured that Magcargo probably already served his purpose. I don't know what Latios has. If Latios does happen to have Defog, then it probably might be a good thing, but in this case scenario. But anyway, I bring in my Sceptile and I don't Mega Evolve because I remember that Sceptile has the Overgrow, and I'm not exactly sure if the Mega Sceptile would have been able to finish off the Landorus at that point amount of HP with a Giga Drain. So I'm like, I took advantage of the ability as opposed to trying to go ahead and Mega Evolve just that turn. So now I switch in my Gardevoirs. He goes for the Zen Headbutt, and now I'm just going to phase out into Talonflame. He goes for the Brave Bird, which is great, and knocks out my Gardevoir there. And I am just now going to go back out into my CORSOLA, which is cool. So he's gonna go ahead and U-turn. I'm just gonna predict his switch now and go and use Icy Wind, I want to say. I think so. No, I used Skull. Okay, I used Skull because I knew that he was gonna win switch, but I did want to inflict a burn out onto something. So now I go for the Icy Wind, and Icy Wind doesn't do a lot. CORSOLA doesn't have a lot of offensive capabilities here. So now he goes for the Rotom. I knew that he's going to want to switch out, hence me switching up my moves to go for the Skull to probably try to inflict a burn onto something. He goes for the Volt Switch, which is great because that turn I decided to go for the Miracle. I hit the Mega Metagross, which is awesome. Something like, yes, I got this game, but instead I make one of the dumbest plays here as I switch into Mega Sceptile as opposed to switching into Hippowdon, because I thought that Hippowdon would probably get two-shotted by this thing. And I also thought that my Mega Sceptile was timid, so I would have been able to outspeed and go for the Focus Blast. And Mega Sceptile would have been super detrimental to the rest of this guy's party. He has Rotom, he has Keldeo. Keldeo being Choice Scarf, so I'm just going to have to play around that. But he also has Latios, you know, so things die to Mega Sceptile. And I just thought that Hippowdon would be a little bit more useful a little bit later on, just because of what Mega Evolution he chose. I'm thinking that he probably might want to save his Mega Metagross for a little bit later on, as opposed to just letting it die like that. So now he brings in the Latios, and I thought that he was probably trying to go for the Roost or something like that, because it's so obvious for me to go for the CORSOLA on that particular turn, to go for Icy Wind or something like that, you know, because CORSOLA does happen to be Assault Vest. I can just go for the Mirror Coat, or I could just go for the Scald, Icy when I have options here. So I go for the Mirror Coat again, thinking that he was going to go for the Vault Switch, but he did see Mirror Coat previously, so I guess he's not going to fall for the same trick twice. He goes for the Keldeo, makes a hard switch. I go for the Mirror Coat again, just in case he happens to go for the Vault Switch. He goes for the Secret Sword, knocks it out, and then afterwards my last Pokemon happens to be the Rotom. The play of the day was when I switched in my Mega Sceptile onto the Metagross as opposed to switching in Hippowdon, because I thought that Hippowdon would die, would get to it KO'd, and I won't really have anything for the Mega Metagross. And now in comes the Talonflame, which unfortunately he was able to go for the defog a little bit earlier on, otherwise it would have been Rotom versus Rotom. But he was able to defog my Stealth Rocks away, so that's a 2-0 victory for him. That was a great game, by the way. I definitely did have a lot of fun. If you guys enjoyed this video, please drop a like. If you guys want to see more content like this in the future, please subscribe to me. It's awesome. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Peace. What you doing?